an equation. It's an equation because it has an equal sign. And we want to solve for W in this equation. This is a two-step equation where we have to do the distributive property. But there is a way you can do this problem where you don't do the distributive property first. What you do instead is you get rid of the -4, and then it becomes a one-step equation. So the way to do this so you don't have to do the distributive property is to recognize that this equation is in the form, and I will use maybe a different color for this. This equation is in the form -4x is equal to -24, where x is equal to w+1. So in this method, you pretend like w+1 is equal to x, and then you solve this one-step equation. This is a one-step equation. And we know how to solve one-step equations of this form. -4x is equal to -24. We know that -4 and x, when they stand next to each other like that, that's multiplication. So you want to undo the multiplication by dividing both sides by -4. Division undoes multiplication. And that -4 in front of x gets canceled. So now we have x is equal to -24 divided by -4, right? So we want to think, what does that equal? So I'm going to write a little cheat sheet for you. Maybe you're ahead of me at this point and you know what the answer is. But I'm going to go over this. If you multiply a positive and a positive together, you get a positive. If you multiply a negative and a negative together, you get a negative. You get a positive. And then if you multiply a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive, that's where your answer is negative. And division works the same way here. So when the signs are the same, the product is positive, and when the signs of the two numbers you're multiplying are different, then the product is negative. And the same thing works for division. It's the same setup for division. So your answer here is going to be a positive number, and so you just want to think, what is 24 divided by 4? Your result is going to be +6. So with that, you want to take that back over here, right? So you pretend like this w+1 is just some variable x, and you divide both sides of the equation by -4 to cancel out that -4 that's in front of the parentheses. And now you don't have to worry about the distributive property at all. I didn't use the distributive property anywhere here. And once I got rid of that -4 in front of the parentheses, now I just have a one-step equation, right? This is a one-step equation. There's one step that I need to take in order to solve for W, and it is subtract 1 from both sides. So if I subtract 1 from this side, 1 minus 1 is 0. So all I get left on the left side is W, and on the right side, 6 minus 1 is 5. So my answer is positive 5. W is equal to positive 5. All right, so this is another way that you could solve this two-step equation. There are two steps here, right? I did step 1, divide both sides of the equation by -4, and step 2, subtract 1 from both sides of the equation. It's still a two-step equation, but you don't have to worry about the distributive property at all. You just get rid of this -4 by dividing both sides of the equation by it, and then subtract 1 from both sides.